right, welcome everybody to the Broken Tables podcast. I am your host, Jeffrey Vegas, along with our co-host, Rome. This is episode number 19, and this is the AEW Dynamite review show. How you doing tonight, Rome?
I'm doing fantastic.
Excellent, always good to hear. Welcome to everybody watching live on YouTube, and those of you listening on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcast, and Google Podcast as well. Be sure to hit that subscribe button or the follow button, depending on which app you are using. And hit that ring notifications. So, excellent episode tonight. We're going to get this part right out of the way. Toni Storm is All Elite. Everybody was wondering who it was going to be, and I think about 80% of the community believed it was going to be Toni Storm. Wouldn't you say so?
Yeah, definitely too. I thought was going to debut. So
yeah, I think that was the biggest name available besides Athena. But I don't think anything pointed towards her or anything like that. But yeah, so Toni Storm is All Elite. We start the show off with CM Punk versus Max Castor. I was so excited for this. I was hoping they were going to have some sort of a rap battle, but I didn't get my wish on that one. But huge pop for CM Punk. Almost sounded like they were in Chicago, and this was freaking South Carolina.
Well, it's because we're living in 2022 and we're living in a timeline where we are gifted with CM Punk.
Yeah, it was great, man. It was great.
Every day we see CM Punk on TV is a gift.
It's a gift.
It's
I was going to say the same
that
thing.
wasn't supposed to happen.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So Castor's rap, I'm going to have to say that this beats last week's Castor rap, and I think this might be the best rap I've heard Max Castor do. He immediately started with a line about Will Smith saying, "I'll slap you while you're smiling." Then he says, "You look like you hit more rocks than Hunter Biden." Holy shit, I lost it on that one.
I thought that the last line really killed it too about the V-Packs.
So I actually wanted to ask you about that. So that one went over my head. What is a Z-Pack?
I believe so. It's in reference to when Punk.
When he pooped his pants in the ring.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That was what it was in reference to.
All right. Welcome to the podcast, Jordan. That's nice. He figured out how to make a broken table with I don't know how you say it, but with letters in text.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. So this match was fantastic. Castor impressed me here. I thought they had a great match. CM Punk comes out with the win, nice and clean. No, not really any. What was there any interference from Anthony Bowens? I didn't see any.
Not so much. Anthony Bowens is actually hurt right now, so he's not really getting super physical.
Okay.
But man, no, this was an excellent opener, and it was an excellent match, and really everybody brought their A game. CM Punk is having incredible matches, and Max Castor is a star. If you're not in on him now, like, get in now.
Yeah.
Because this guy, I don't know if it's going to be as a tag team, as a singles guy, whatever it is. Like, this guy is a star, and we are looking at the early stages of a star's career.
Yeah, I see early stages of like The Rock, like when he was Rocky Maivia. This really kind of like that youngness in his face, but he's still got the body size. That's what I'm seeing.
I mean, he's got a really good gimmick that people like, and by proxy of the gimmick, he does great promos. He's solid in the ring. He's got a great look. He really held his own against CM Punk tonight, and I think that this was probably the biggest match of his career. Yes, he's had tag team title shots and
easy
stuff like that, and he's main evented episodes of Rampage and Dynamite. But I mean, honestly, I think that this is the biggest match of his career. It was high profile, open the show with CM Punk, great promo to start. Yeah, it was a killer match. I was super into this match. At the end, Punk hits pile driver on Castor and puts him in the Anaconda Vice for the win. Honestly, I wanted this match to go a little bit longer.
Me too.
But that's not a knock against the match. It's just because the match is so good. I remember the match ended. I was like, oh man, they only went like 9 or 10 minutes. Like this could have went like another 5,
Yeah.
like easy. But it was a pretty packed night, so I get it. Had a really great post match promo from Punk. He says that before his time in AEW is up, he guarantees more grays on his beard, more scars on his face, and that he will be the world champion. I'm
Yep.
just letting everyone know now. I don't care who the champion is. I love Hangman. I love a lot of other guys who could be champion. I am 100%, 100 million percent all in for CM Punk winning the AEW World Championship. So that's where my that's where my hat is in this. Um, just giving everyone the heads up now.
Yeah,
That's the horse
I am
I'm
in
backing.
agreement. I am in agreement with you 100%, whether it's Cole or Page.
It has to happen. It has to happen. And I get it. Like, we've been talking about it. Hangman Adam Page is right now, in my opinion, the best babyface in wrestling right now, hands down. Not arguing it, but
Yeah. Now, I do think
it's CM Punk.
Punk was giving us a subtle hint that he may not win this first go at the championship. I think he was saying, I'm here for a long time, so I'm going to get it eventually.
I agree. I think that's a great point. But I mean, I still think that let's give Punk the championship. I
Hey,
mean,
I'm all in, dude. Give it to him. I don't have any problem with it.
yeah, because Tony Khan doesn't have a problem creating stars. So I'm not super worried about someone like CM Punk getting the world championship for a few months.
Nah, yeah, me neither.
Yeah, definitely not. All right. Next up, we had a promo with MJF and FTR. They point out that there are posters that Smart Mark Sterling is putting up, banning Wardlow from the premises. MJF continuing this storyline where he's basically treating Wardlow like a Fed wrestler. I'm sorry, a Fed sports entertainer. Um, he even uses the term something along the lines of the universe. He's like, you will
Really?
never see that guy in this universe ever again.
I didn't catch that.
Clear. Yeah. So he's talking about, he's like, because he doesn't want to mention Wardlow by name. He says, you'll never see that guy in this universe ever again.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
yeah. I thought that this was a really good lead up to the match later tonight. There was, teasing a breakup. The FTR gear looked really cool. It was dope.
Yeah.
It was an NWO homage. But yeah, I thought this was a great little promo. There's a sequence of segments throughout the show that have to do with FTR, and like, man, they really killed it tonight.
Yeah, I mean, FTR is probably my favorite tag team going right now, especially with the Lucha Brothers on the sidelines and the Bucks just doing whatever the hell they're doing. VP stuff, of course, I'm sure.
Right. All right. So next up, we had Jay Lethal versus Jon Moxley.
Holy
This is a
shit.
phenomenal, excellent match.
Yeah.
I specifically want to highlight, kind of towards the end of the match, there is a sequence. It happens when Mox's leg gives out. He goes to hit him with the, I think it was the paradigm shift. He
Uh-huh.
goes to hit him with something, and his leg gives out.
Yep.
And then the sequence that follows that, his leg giving out, was like perfection. Like from that to the bell, it was
Yeah.
like a good like minute and a half where it was like just excellent, perfect wrestling.
Dude, these two, I want to see these two in the ring again sometime. It was really, really good.
Yeah, this was an excellent match. A lot of cool spots. Like I said, the ending sequence was really good. There was also a spot where they're on the top rope and Jay Lethal kind of pushes Moxley backwards onto the ropes and he kind of lands,
Yep.
in a not very very compromising position. Um yeah, this is an
Ouch.
excellent match. In the end, Mox picks up the win. Um Shakes Jay Lethal's hand. Lethal does shake his hand, but Lethal looks distraught, and it looks like we're kind of continuing this storyline into the Supercard of Honor.
Yeah,
Um,
that handshake gave me chills, man. Like that was I don't know if emotional is the right word, but for me, man, like I got goosebumps when he shook his hand.
I think it was definitely emotional. I mean,
Yeah.
Lethal is very upset because Lethal is out here putting these excellent matches together, and he just keeps coming up short. And we heard it from the promo on, I think it was Rampage. It was either Rampage or Elevation. I think it was Rampage, where he's back to the drawing board. He's got to figure something out,
Yeah.
and one would assume he's probably going to start getting pretty desperate soon.
Yeah, we'll see. I think I'm thinking he's gonna win his Ring of Honor match and be like, "This is where I belong," you know what I mean, or something like that, you know?
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Definitely, I could see him being he could be a key factor in Ring of Honor. I mean, he was always a kind of a Ring of Honor mainstay outside of his
Yeah.
stints in Impact, so it makes sense for him to be there. I
Yeah.
hope that we do see him still on AEW programming. I mean, I hope I see all these guys. Like, I know there's going to be a bleeding of talent, and there's some guys who I want to see on both shows, who I think should be on both shows.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. We don't know yet. We got to get the Supercard of Honor, which is 2 days away. Very excited for that.
That's gonna be nice.
Um,
Is that Friday night?
It is Friday night.
Nice. So I believe it's supposed to be from 7 to 10, so we could go right into Rampage after. I'm planning on ordering that, so I believe I'll be able to. We'll do like we'll do a Rampage and Supercard after show if you're up for it.
Absolutely. I was actually planning on inviting you over if you wanted to.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
So funny little thing, and I don't know if you caught this because I even texted you when it happened. But so we were in the middle of a commercial break after that. I'm sorry. Hold on. One more thing before that.
Yeah, the Marina Shafir.
We got a package for Marina Shafir, who has been on Dark and Elevation. I think more so Dark. I did catch her last week. I haven't seen every single match she's been in, but I did see her last Tuesday. It was basically a package kind of debuting her to the TV audience. We do hear from her again later in the show, but it looks like she's going to be kind of bumped up, promoted to the main roster, if you want to put it that way. She's gonna be signed, basically.
Yeah, a lot of people on Twitter were like, "Oh my God, did they finally sign her?" I was just assuming because we were getting a video package that that meant she was signed, but apparently, I'm not. Nobody's exactly sure yet, but it would appear she is.
Yeah, we'll talk about her when we get to the segment where she kind of comes in again.
Okay.
But I just wanted to point that out. Anyway, so during the commercial break here, we get a Fed commercial for the Raw After Mania Fallout, and I just think to myself, like, these fucking losers.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not watching that shit. They wasted all this money. They paid TBS all this money for this commercial. Like, hey, these suckers. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyway, I just laughed. I was like, oh, I don't care if you have Cody. I don't care. I'm not like, no, it's not happening. Which we're still waiting to see what happens with that, and when that happens, we will talk more about it.
Yeah.
So we came back from the commercial break, and we got FTR versus the Gun Club. So I don't think that this was the best wrestling match of the night, but like, goddamn, if it wasn't the best segment of the night.
Yeah.
I thought that they got so much done with this segment. It was ridiculous.
Yep.
It was just like, I'm looking through my notes and I don't even know where to begin. It was just so, like, FTR comes out. They're working as the baby faces now. You have them have a great match with the Gun Club. The Gun Club's best match, in my opinion. I think this was their best match that they've had.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
It established FTR as the baby faces. It was the best match that Gun Club ever had, which helps solidify them as heels in the tag team division, which we're going to need when FTR and the Young Bucks eventually turn babyface. Which, I mean, the FTR is babyface at this point, but you get what I'm saying. Meanwhile, we have MJF on commentary, and he's continuing his war with commentary, where he's shitting on Shivani and Ross and fucking Excalibur, and these guys are all just going back and forth, just taking shots at each other, and I'm all about it. And then, so we're going through this match, and Wardlow shows up, and like, I tweeted this, and I actually got a few likes about it, but I was like, this is how you build a star.
Yep.
Vincent Kennedy McMahon, take notes. I understand 20 years ago you created stars, but you haven't created a star in 20 something years. Take notes. This is how you create a star. Watch this Wardlow segment. The guy comes in, he destroying people. He attempts to give us a shout out to the podcast, but you know what? Also, shout out to that extra, that security guard, for the way he sold that, because he made Wardlow look incredible. That guy looked like his spine was broken in half.
Yeah.
He was like, fuck it. He was like, the table didn't break. Okay, I got to do a little extra, and he's just like, oh god, he looked like it hurt so bad.
Yeah.
And then like Wardlow, he comes through the fans, points at MJF. He wants to get MJF. The fans want him to get MJF. MJF's like freaking out, mind you, and like Wardlow's slowly working his way through the security detail. Wardlow's over, the crowd's going fucking ape shit. Meanwhile, there's a great tag team match going on. MJF is on commentary freaking out, like mind explosion. Like, to me, this was like, I'm a big promo guy, and I have segments that I say are my favorites because of the fact that they were promos. But this is probably one of the best all-around pro wrestling segments I think I've ever seen, because it did so
really
much. Like, and I know I'm going on a little bit of a tangent here, but it did so much in so little time and elevated so many people. Like this, as Martin Scorsese would say, this is cinema. Okay. Yep. Like this is excellent. This is 6 stars. Like nobody even in this segment, honestly, are guys that I would consider my favorites. You know what I mean? Like the guys who like are Rome's guys. Like Punk's not in this, Bryan's not in this, the Bucks aren't in this, like Hangman's not. Like I mean, I love MJF, so I'm an MJF guy. But like apart from MJF, like I wouldn't consider any of these guys like my guys. But like, man, just chef's kiss. This was just incredible. I'm done. I'm drinking some water. You go ahead. You go ahead.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, I completely agree. At one point I wrote down here, I was like, FTR has managed to take textbook wrestling or textbook tag team wrestling and make it incredibly entertaining with no flips, no flying, like the fact that they can do that in this day and age is incredible to me. And for me to think that they're one of the best without doing any of that stuff, that's incredible. It really is. Those two, the way that they're students of the game, you know what I mean? You could tell that they've just studied wrestling for a long time. They just get it.
They're just so fundamentally sound. It's incredible.
Just
and
textbook.
they're such a great foil to, what's considered the stereotypical AEW style. If you're a Fed fan looking in, like, oh, it's just flips and shit. Like, no, it's not.
No, it's not.
There's purpose behind everything they do. And if you really want to look at it like FTR, no flips, just fists, as they say. But yeah, this was excellent. This was just, man, what a night of Dynamite, and what a segment. This elevated everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. I can't get over it. I'm gonna go watch it later.
The crowd was so loud when Wardlow was trying to come down the stairs and just knocking people out. Like that was a loud crowd, man.
Yeah, but again, that's what I'm saying. Like, they're creating a star. You're doing it organically. You're not taking a guy because he's a pretty Samoan and shoving him down your fucking throat until you like him. No, people genuinely like Wardlow and genuinely want to see Wardlow beat the shit out of MJF.
Yeah.
and like this build is going to keep happening. Like, remember we talked about it last week. We said something like this was going to happen, and like they did it, and they're going to keep doing things like this. It might not be the exact same thing every week, and they might go a week or two without him, but like this is going to keep going. And when when Wardlow finally gets his hands on MJF, like people are going to freak out, and it's going to sell a pay-per-view. And that's how you create a star.
Yeah, Jordan said he just bought 25 FTR Upper Deck cards on eBay today. So, Jordan, I'm actually a card collector as well. If you have any questions about that, let me know. If you're gonna be buying cards on eBay, they should all be numbered. Like this one here, this is an Adam Cole autograph. This is number 4 out of 25. You want them to be numbered. They're worth so much more. But yeah, FTR, my favorite tag team at the moment. Easy.
Yeah, I could keep talking about this, but I think we've pretty much covered it. So, gonna move on. Next up, we had. Oh, I'm sorry. So after the match, even there was even more to this that we didn't cover.
Yeah.
So MJF comes down to the ring to celebrate with them, and Dax Harwood says "fuck off." Like,
Yeah, pretty
obviously,
much.
no Mike caught it up, but he was like "fuck off." Like, Wardlow's our boy, and like you're our boy too, but like we're not about this shit. Like, you
Yeah.
gotta knock it off. And MJF's like, "Oh, don't worry about it. You know, you guys are the man." You know, and they celebrate, and the breakup's gonna come. It's coming.
Yep, absolutely.
But a 6-star segment there. Next up, we had a little segment about Will Hobbs and Keith Lee. We're going to get them on Rampage, but we'll talk about that later.
Can't wait.
After that, we had the Jericho Appreciation Society. We had a promo. They're kind of talking about how, like, they're sports entertainers still. They talk about future endeavoring people once again, just this is how you get the AEW audience to hate you. This is how you, like, I'm sitting here listening to this and I'm like, oh, fuck these guys, man. Like that, and that's what they're going for.
Yo, we got Tony Khan in the chat saying you haven't seen nothing yet. He said he's happy we saw the premiere of Miss Toni Storm. She is all elite, and more signings will be announced this Friday on Ring of Honor Super Show.
I love
Thanks,
you, Tony.
Tony. If you're the real Tony, I would
Tony.
freak out, but I probably kind of doubt it.
I doubt it too, but I'll take a second. I'll say it. Thank you, Tony Khan. I don't care if you're the real Tony Khan or not. This is everything. I was out of wrestling before Tony Khan came along. I was done, and now I'm sitting here doing a weekly podcast and loving every second of it.
Yep, same here.
But so back to the segment. So they talk about how people from every roster in every company are trying to join the JAS.
Yeah.
And they're like, nobody else is getting in. Nobody. It's just the 5 of us. It'll never be any more. And then they tell Matt Menard, take a peek. And they do a callback to what he's been doing the past few weeks where he looks behind the curtain. There's nobody there. He's like, go take a peek, Hager. Go take a peek.
Go take a
peek. Give it a taste. I love Matt Menard so much. And he pulls back the curtain and kicks in, and Santana and Ortiz are there. And they just start beating the shit out of them. We had a great brawl here. And it actually went on way longer than I thought it was going to, because it seemed like Kingston and Pride and Powerful kind of had it on lock, because, Kingston lays them out, and then JS kind of regroups and just dismantles these guys, like just beats the ever-living crap out of them.
Yeah.
I thought this was a great segment. I was expecting a run-in here, but we didn't get it. So I thought that was odd, because it was definitely like, did you get that vibe too?
Yeah, I did too.
Because I'm watching it. I'm like, this is going on really long, and like, is somebody else debuting tonight apart from Toni Storm? But nobody came. But this is really building up to be a pretty big match. I could see this culminating in, I don't know, maybe a blood and guts match.
Ooh. I can't wait to hear William Regal scream, blood and guts.
They have to have Regal do it. I don't think they will, but it would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be insane.
All right, so after that, we had the Jade Cargill promo. Mark Sterling announces that he has handpicked the 30th challenger, and it is the librarian Leva Bates.
Love Leva, man.
I love Leva too. So she does a lot of backstage stuff with AEW, but we haven't seen her on TV in like a year and a half, probably 2 years. So I admittedly got a little hype, because it's like, oh, that'll be fun. I mean, I don't know how long she'll last, but that sounds fun. But then obviously Jade's like, that's a trash. That I'm not interested in Leva Bates. So Sterling says that the other option is Marina Shafir, who Jade Cargill says she's that's who she's going to take on. So challenger number 30 will not be Athena like we've been predicting. It's going to be
No.
Marina Shafir. I think this is a very odd choice.
Well, she's a former MMA fighter, so I don't know if they're trying to play off of, the Ronda Rousey type thing, or if they're just going with someone who's, known to be a very tough woman. It could be either one of those, but yeah, I think they're playing off the MMA thing. It's not really like widely known this girl was MMA, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it could also just kind of be the point of it, but like looking at it, Marina Shafir's kind of coming in here. She's undefeated on Dark. She's kind of being billed as kind of like a monster, like you said, MMA fighter, wrestler, like very tough woman, right? So it's like, I don't know. I just felt like I don't think this is the person to beat Jade. I would be very surprised to see Jade lose here. But I guess that's kind of the point. They want it to be believable because, logic says that if Shafir's coming into she's moving up to Dynamite and to kind of like that next tier of, being all elite, then you would assume she's going to come in and make an impact.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess, I kind of take it back. It's not odd. I think it's actually pretty good. It means that they're booking well. The fact that I'm looking at it like that. So I resign that. That was, it's a good match. It'll be good.
Nice. I'm glad you talked yourself out of it.
Yeah, well, it's like while I was watching it, it was weird, but now that I'm like wrapping my head around it, I'm actually kind of changing my mind on it mid.
And you know how big of a fan I am of Jade Cargill, man. I've been talking about her for months, and it just seems like every single segment she gets better at talking and better at wrestling. I thought she did great in this one. Her cut the shit, Tony. It's starting to catch on with me. I'm kind of liking that. I'm like waiting for it at the end of every segment.
Yeah, man, Jade's been getting better and better with these promos every week.
Mm-hmm.
She's really coming into her own with that. Now I am a little concerned because we haven't really seen her wrestle in, what has it been, like 3 weeks, 4 weeks?
Yeah.
So I'm a little concerned about that because, I mean, she kind of needs the reps.
Yeah.
So we'll see how this Marina Shafir match goes. It's not slated for Rampage, so we're not going to get it this week. And it wasn't announced for Dynamite either for next week, but we'll get into that.
Yeah. Now, I think they're holding off on her wrestling right now because, take it away so that we enjoy it more when we get it. So I think that match is going to be a big deal.
Right. Okay. Next up, we had Bryan Danielson versus Wheeler Yuta.
Holy moly.
So earlier, there's been a common theme through the night where we're talking about stars being made. We talked about Max Castor and how he's a star, how he went out there with CM Punk, had an excellent match, left me begging for more. Then we talk about fucking Wardlow, and we talk about how this guy, we just want to see him get his hands on MJF and just like the star that's being built there, And then we get to this match, and like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, Wheeler Yuta is the fucking man. Like, from the beginning of this match. Now, again, Bryan Danielson, one of my favorites, best wrestler in the world. There's no argument to that. He is the best wrestler in the world.
Regal called out Excalibur for saying one of the best, and he says, "How about the best?" Yes, and Excalibur was like, "I'm gonna stick with my one of the best."
Mr. Regal is correct.
Yes,
Bryan Danielson is the best wrestler alive, probably of all time. It's not a discussion in my mind. And for Wheeler Yuta to come out and just have an excellent match with this guy, to have an excellent match with Bryan Danielson, like in my notes, like I just stopped writing notes. This was such an excellent match.
Yeah.
It was just like, it was crazy from the beginning of the match where they kind of did like a bridge and Yuta was like holding Danielson up and Danielson's kneeing him in midair while they're doing the bridge. I'm like, what the hell? Like, just all the way through the match. And we just have this crazy, excellent match. that really showcased Yuta, but Danielson still obviously got his moments. You know, we get to the end of the match where we think Yuta's kind of turned the corner. Danielson hits him with the running knee. Danielson, yeah, he goes to grab. He tells Bryce Remsburg to check, make sure that Yuta is conscious, and to end the match. Yuta says, "Nope, I'm fine. Keep the match going." Danielson goes to grab his hands to do the face stomp. I forget what the actual name is for that. I don't know if there is a name for that actually.
Stomp his head in.
Yeah, sure. He goes to stomp his head in. Yuta fucking spits in this guy's face.
Oh, dude, that was so gross.
Danielson is livid and just kills him, puts him in the submission move. Yuta passes out, does not tap out. And I'm sitting here like, Tony Khan just created, you know, Max Castor, like, that was a great match. I don't think that was a star-making performance for him, but, like, Jesus Christ, Tony Khan created 2 stars in one night. Like, dude, that's just what it is.
Danielson looked so pissed, like he was cranking on Yuta's neck. I thought he was actually trying to kill him.
I mean, it was a great spit. It's the greatest spit can get. It was he killed it. Like, Yuta, man, Yuta's great, and Yuta is on the Supercard of Honor, and I am 1,000,000% pulling for him on Supercard of Honor.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really hoping that the Blackpool Combat Club shows up to recruit him for that after that match. And
yeah, possibly, but yeah.
I have to be honest, the first time I saw Wheeler Yuta, I never thought that they were going to be able to make me want to see him wrestle like every week. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to say this. Like, I never thought that they would get him over with me is kind of what I'm looking at, I guess. And he is as over as can be with me right now.
See, I always kind of dug him. I mean, obviously not I'm not where I'm at now is way different than where I was, but I was like, oh, cool. He's a Philly guy who's a really good wrestler. You know, I'm a Philly guy who loves wrestling. Like, that's an instant connection for me. I like this guy. You know, he's on Twitter, you know, on Eagles game day, talk about the Eagles. So, like, you know, there's a connection there. And then, like, all of a sudden I'm like, oh, wait a second. This guy's also actually like a dope ass wrestler. And now, you know, he's doing this stuff where it's like he left the Best Friends, and, you know, like, Best Friends wasn't really a good fit for him, and that's okay. Like, I still love the Best Friends, but, like, man, like, yes, this is the direction that Wheeler Yuta needs to go in. Just absolutely.
Yeah, there was one spot in this match where Danielson went for his submission, the brutalizer. I can't remember what it's called right now, but Wheeler slipped out of it and just started destroying Danielson with those elbows. That was one of my favorite spots of the night. It was so smooth. It looked so good.
Yeah, definitely. So this was an excellent match. Up to this point, like, with Dynamite tonight, man, the hits just kept coming, and they did not stop coming. This is just what an excellent night so far up to this point.
Absolutely.
Next up, we had a quick little segment with Darby Allen and Andrade setting up for the main event tonight.
Yep.
Thought it was a really great promo that kind of built both of these guys up. Seemed at this point, I thought it might be the end of the rivalry. At the end of the night, I'm not as sure, but, you know, this was a really good promo that set up for a really good match that would happen later on in the night.
Yep.
Next up, we had the Undisputed Elite Championship celebration. So for starters, they officially have the name of Undisputed Elite. They all, Adam Cole and Red Dragon came out with the stolen titles that they had stolen last week. They used tape to cover up the names and wrote their own names on them, which is hilarious.
Yeah, I was laughing so hard at the tape when Adam Cole was doing the boom thing and the belt was right there on his shoulder. I just couldn't help but laughing, and my wife was like, "What are you laughing at?" And I was like, "The tape on the title."
Right. And then they had this box, and it said "Party Supplies, Top Secret" on it. And they opened the box, and like 5 gold balloons popped out. Which I also thought was funny that they were gold balloons. I don't know if that was kind of like a throwback to their Undisputed Era day, or if it was just a random choice. I don't know, but I still appreciated it. But just like 5 balloons flying out. Excalibur's like, oh wow, 5 balloons. Oh my god. Like,
dude.
So it was excellent.
Kyle O'Reilly made me laugh so hard I couldn't breathe for a moment here when he was kind of like he was basically like pretending he was still in the E, like in his thought process. You know, he was like, "Oh, everybody loves us. The rankings don't matter." And then he was like, "Wait a minute, I had too much champagne in the back. I don't feel too good." And then he like sits down and puts his head between his legs. Dude, I was laughing so hard.
Yeah, I thought it was great. They both, Adam Cole says that Jurassic Express and Adam Page are not there tonight, which I don't know who their source was, but it wasn't a very good source.
Incorrect.
So Hangman's music. Anyway, so this was a really good segment because for me, this was like the official debut of this group as a faction. Not just because they got the name, but this promo kind of basically just laid out who they are and what their goal is and what they're going to do. Before it felt like it was Adam Cole and Red Dragon, just friends just kind of dicking around and helping each other. But like this, for me, this was the promo where it really clicked and I'm like, okay, this is the faction. This is the group. We're here. We're establishing them. It was really interesting not to see the Bucks too, which I think is intentional.
Yeah.
But so I thought this was a really good segment, kind of introducing them.
Yeah, I thought it was absolutely great.
Yeah.
But
and then Hangman's music hits. Oops, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I didn't expect them to come out and get their belts back so quick. I was hoping they would keep them, for a week or two, make it really annoying, but...
Yep. No, I think this was just perfect. I think 1 week was all you needed.
Yeah.
But so I thought it was fun that Hangman came out in a Tesla with horns on it. It made me instantly think of JBL. I'm like, yeah. Maggle, go. But no, I thought it was cool. I mean, I think that fits his character perfectly, that he would be driving a Tesla. Anxious millennial cowboy.
Yeah.
Thought that was great. He kind of goes out there and he fights the Undisputed Elite. They flee, and then Jurassic Express shows up, kind of evens out the odds, get some fighting going on, and all around, I think this was a good segment, and the champs get their belts back.
Yeah, Jurassic Express actually made it an uneven fight. All three of them came out, so it was 4-on-3 at that point. Christian was there.
Yeah. We did not see Dark Order tonight.
It was dastardly Jurassic Express.
Oh, very interesting.
Yeah, no Dark Order tonight either. I'm digging it.
I don't know if I'm digging it. Again, like this on again, off again thing just isn't really flying with me. We'll see what happens with it.
Yeah, I think we've kind of solidified it as off at the moment. I think I think Hangman and them are done for the time being.
Yeah, but then they got to do something then.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We'll see.
Next up, we had a Thunder Rosa promo. An excellent Thunder Rosa promo.
Oh, yeah.
Thunder Rosa talks about not wanting just to be the pillar of the division or the face of the division, or even, the foundation of the division. She wants to be the face, the pillar, the foundation of women's wrestling, period. I thought that this was an excellent promo. I think that this was the promo that Thunder Rosa should have had last week.
Yeah. They should have swapped.
I think that
they should have swapped these 2 weeks. She should have got to say that last week and then got attacked this week.
Yep. But we're back on track. We had a great promo here that not only establishes that Thunder Rosa is going to be a really good champion, but we're also establishing what Tony Khan said last week about the women's division kind of getting, being elevated. Like, this is Thunder Rosa saying this women's division is going to be the place where women want to go to wrestle.
Yep.
And I'm all for it.
I mean, the reaction Tony Storm got, definitely going to be where the ladies want to go.
Yeah. All right, next up, we had a FTR promo. Again, this was kind of a common theme through the night, was FTR and the Pinnacle. Yeah. FTR basically, they talk about how they're the AAA champions. They're on Friday hoping to become the Ring of Honor champions, which I hope they do.
Yes.
I think they definitely deserve it right now. And then they go on to say that, you know, but we love pro wrestling, and just God, like, it's such a relatable character right now, because like these guys is their face turn is just all focused on the fact that, like, we love pro wrestling and we love our families and we're just so happy to be here.
Yeah.
And it's so genuine that you can't help but love it. But so they challenged the Young Bucks to a match to just, you know, FTR versus Young Bucks 2. I would assume this is going to be a number one contendership match. I feel like
I would assume so. That would definitely be my number one contenders at the moment, but I don't know if the Bucks have enough matches to be ranked, because the rankings matter.
They do. That's a great point.
Maybe that's why they've been on Dark the last couple of weeks, to get their numbers up.
Well, yeah. Plus, the Bucks have a match on Rampage.
Yeah, there we go. They're getting
which we'll get
up.
into that. Yeah, they have ways of making. You know, it may not make sense, but they have ways of fixing it.
Yeah.
Okay. So next up, we had the first match, the first qualifying match of the Owen Hart tournament. You know, just a reminder, there's going to be a men's tournament and a women's tournament, and these matches that we're seeing are qualifiers for people to get into the tournament. Tournament starts in May. So this isn't the tournament yet. We're just doing qualifying matches. So we had the Bunny versus the debuting Toni Storm, who got a huge pop. This was one of the two women's wrestlers right now that I really want to see in AEW. Really three, but two personally. Toni Storm, and then I also really want to see Tegan Nox show up in AEW. With Athena being a close third. But so yeah, this was great for her. You know, she came out. She was clearly emotional. You know, I don't know if you know this, but Toni Storm and I have one key thing in common. Do you know what that is?
Your birthdays?
No, we both said "fuck the Fed." You know.
Damn it! I walked into that. I should have knew that.
Instant fan, because you know what? She was like, "Fuck you guys.
I'm
going home. I'm going home. You might as well release me from my contract."
Screw
and they were
you
like,
guys. I'm going
home. But so yeah, Toni Storm debuted, and it was clearly emotional for her. I felt a little bad because I felt like the crowd was just exhausted at this point. She got a huge pop when she came out, but the crowd kind of just died down and let the match happen. They did try to bounce back a little bit for her. Like, clearly there was excitement there for her. It was just like, man, that first hour and a half of Dynamite was so fucking wild that, like, I just feel like the crowd was a little tired at this point.
Yeah.
But, you know, at the end of the day, it was a great match. They gave the Bunny some great offense too. So even though, like, Bunny looked really good in this match, like, she looked awesome.
You know,
but Toni Storm looked great. Excellent.
So I do want to say one thing here. I don't think the Bunny should have been in this match. So this is the Owen Hart Cup qualifier, right? And they were promoting how the Bunny is Canadian and she's in the first match. How do you have her lose as the first Canadian? You know what I mean? So I was kind of hoping she would go up against somebody that she was going to defeat. But you know, it is what it is. Here we are. Maybe they'll give her like another chance to qualify. Yeah, maybe they could take that horrible Seth Rollins storyline and make it good for her trying to get back into the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Nationality matters, and I get that. But yeah, I mean, I think this was a fine choice, and you know, we don't know who else is in the tournament yet, so we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, so this was a good match. Toni Storm won the match, and she looked great, and happy that she's here.
Yeah, I like her finisher. They called it the Storm Zero. Just looked like a basic old school pile driver, right?
Yeah, it looked like a very tight pile driver, just like very snap, bam.
Like old school, like Jerry Lawler style, I think.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we have.
I think next up there was a Nyla Rose promo on Rosa, right?
Yep. So we had a Nyla Rose promo, and Nyla Rose, very underrated. I know she's kind of like, I feel like she's like the gatekeeper of like the women's division and like the title contention. Like, she's always kind of there, But like, nah, she killed it. This was a great promo from her. I love the line of, "I'll cement my legacy with your blood, Thunder Rosa."
Yeah,
Um,
that was nice.
I thought that was a great line. You know, Nyla Rose very underrated. Um, but yeah, she was
Yeah.
good little promo that got to the point. I thought it was pretty dope.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Nyla Rose. There was actually a Twitter post that said, what's one opinion you have in the wrestling world that would make everybody come at you? And I said that Nyla Rose is better than 98% of the E's women's roster. And nobody said a word. I just got a bunch of likes. I was like, oh, I guess that's not such a bad opinion.
No, it's not. But also, to be fair, there are people in the Fed that are great workers that are just bogged down by the company itself.
Of course, the rules that they have to follow.
Like I think, for what it's worth, I think Sasha Banks and Bailey, and I mean those are the two that really come to mind when I think of like really really good women wrestlers over there. Not as hot on Becky Lynch as I used to be.
Me neither.
I think she's just kind of ridiculous and stupid now. But Bailey and Sasha Banks are excellent. You know,
those are easily my two favorite
someday.
over in the E. Easily.
Yeah, hopefully someday they're not there anymore.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens.
We'll see.
You never know. All right, next up we had the main event. It was Andrade versus Darby Allen. This match didn't get started right away. It was a big street fight.
I mean, they didn't ring the bell right away.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They didn't ring the bell because neither guy got in the ring. There was just a huge fight that broke out. Andrade almost put Darby through a table. There was no shout outs to us tonight. Darby did his skateboard, I guess you would say acid drop. I mean, for the skaters out there, that's what it is. It's an acid drop.
Yep.
Acid drop onto Andrade's back. Andrade kind of gets the upper hand on the beatdown and basically throws him in the ring. Ref's like, "You don't got to do this, Darby." And Darby grabs him and like, "You're goddamn." I don't know exactly what he said, but he basically said like, "You're goddamn start the match." Which Remsburg obliges him. And then we kind of get like a little bit of a one-sided thing going on where Andrade's kind of giving the typical heel beatdown. Thought it was pretty good. And all in all, just kind of evolved. Where Darby, Jesus Christ, Darby bounced back. Dalby from Harry Potter, Darby. Darby bounced back, and it ended up being a really, really good match.
Dude, I think this might have been my favorite Darby singles match. There might have been one way back that I can't remember at the moment, but man, this match was incredible from beginning to end. Just again, Darby just has no regard for his own safety whatsoever. He just throws himself around like a madman. The crucifix off the top rope. I guess you would call that a super crucifix. But my God, that was incredible. That was one of my favorite spots of the night.
Yeah, it was excellent. Excellent match. We got some interference at the end, but Andrade picked up the win, which I actually thought was the right way to go with this.
Me too.
I was a little concerned that Darby was going to win it, but at the end of the day, my concerns were not well founded. Andrade picked up what I considered was a much needed win for him.
Yeah. Darby can lose all he wants. He's protected. Nobody's going to stop liking Darby anytime soon.
Exactly. Yeah. Wins and losses can matter, but you can also protect your guy at the same time. Like,
yeah,
it's doable. Like we see it all the time here in AEW. There was a post-match beatdown where the AFO came out and just started beating up Darby and Sting. The Hardys make the save, and we close out the show like that.
Man, I gotta say, I love what they do with Sting. They make Sting seem like Superman. He comes in the ring and he just starts kicking the shit out of. He beats up the Butcher and the Blade and Jose. And he's taking them on one at a time, just karate chopping them, punching them all. And it took like everybody to jump on Sting to finally get him down. I just thought it was great the way that they portray Sting as such a monster. I just love it.
Yeah. Well, I think it's because like in the kayfabe, it's a psychology thing where like Sting is intimidating because he's Sting. Like the face paint still kind of strikes fear in people, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like people are like, oh, it's kind of like when you're watching like a Batman movie or something, and like there's like 4 guys, but the guys are like, well, let's get them one at a time because everyone's just so scared, and it's like that. It's like, all right, well, you get Sting. It's like, oh fuck, he got taken
Yeah.
out. All right, I'll get him. Ah, my arm got broken. Tony, go get him. Like, Sting just keeps going through him, you know.
Yeah, I think it's weird that Jose is getting involved in the fighting. I'm like, he looks like a weak, weird lawyer dude. Why is he getting involved? It's like if Paul Heyman gotten involved to me, you know?
I mean, Paul Heyman's gotten involved here and there.
Yeah, but not like jumping in on 3 guys trying to beat up one guy, you know?
Yeah, but Jose is a younger guy. He could.
Yeah, that's true.
He's
and
fine.
I think he's actually pretty ripped. I think I saw a picture of him on Twitter he posted, and he was pretty ripped.
Yeah, see, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But that was AEW Dynamite, and man, this is one of the better shows that they've done, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think that again, the show was so strong that the Tony Storm Bunny match, even though the debut didn't fall short, that match felt a little short because of how drained everyone was. Like even I was kind of like, "Oof, man, this is this is wild. I was not expecting this tonight."
Yeah.
But yeah, no, for me this is a 5-star show. I mean,
Yep.
my biggest knock against the night was that the crowd was a little dead for the second to last match, which that's just how it was.
It's just how it goes, man. When we have such good stuff, they run out of energy eventually, and then they get their second win for the main event most of the time, and they got to save some for Rampage too. Most of the time, people remember like, holy shit, we still have Rampage after this. Like, I know that happened to me.
That's the great thing about that's the great thing about Dynamite. It's like you have this awesome 2-hour show, and then like, oh wow, yeah, they're getting ready for Rampage. Oh, that's right, there's Rampage.
Yeah. The kids behind us when we were there didn't even realize. They were like, wait, Rampage is after this? They were like, hell yeah.
Yeah, it's exciting.
So I just have to get right into it. They announced a table match between the Hardys and the Butcher and Blade. We could not ask for a better shout out to the podcast. So first off, Tony and AEW, thank you very much for that shout out. And what do you think of this, man? What do you think? How's this going to go down?
Well, I think this is going to be excellent. I mean, you're giving us the Hardys in a tag team, special rules, gimmick match, a gimmick match. You're giving us the Hardys as a tag team in a gimmick match. I mean, like, what more could you ask for?
Yeah.
Like, like the best tables match, one of the best tables matches I've ever seen was the Hardys versus the Dudleys at the Royal Rumble in 2000. I don't know if that's the best I've ever seen, but like that's one that comes to mind that includes the Hardys. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like this is going to be a really fun, excellent match. Tables will be broken, and we will be very happy to receive the shout out next week.
Oh yeah, I think there's going to be multiple. Let's do a quick prediction here. Over or under, how many tables you think there's going to be? I'm going to go with more than 3 tables broken. Oh, wait a second. A tables match is over when someone goes through one table, isn't it?
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out because I know, like, I don't know if we've had a tag team table match in AEW before. I don't know if they're going to go off of the rules of, one table and you're done, or are they going to do the rules? Like, I know that the Fed back in the day, like for that match, the Royal Rumble one, I know that they had a rule where it was kind of like elimination, but not elimination, where it's like you had to put both members through tables.
Yeah.
But like the other guy could still help out. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I think that would be the way to go, that each member of a tag team has to go through a table. So like, they put Jeff Hardy through a table, they'll announce, Jeff Hardy has been put through a table. And then if Matt goes through one, then they lose. Okay, I like that.
Yeah, I hope that's the spot. In which case, I do think you're right. I think 3 tables is probably the good number.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
But let's cover the rest of the preview.
Yes.
So apart from that match, all we have for Dynamite next week is that the Owen Hart qualifiers will continue. There will be a women's match, and that will continue that side of the tournament, and then we will begin the men's bracket qualifiers.
And
so we're gonna.
That women's match is gonna be Jamie Hayter versus Sky Blue.
No, so that's for Rampage.
That's for Rampage. Okay.
Yeah, they're saying Dynamite. There will be a women's qualifier match that they did not announce yet. But it will be.
Know.
We do not know yet. No.
Okay.
And then the men's will also begin next Wednesday. We do not know that match either yet. So that's it for Dynamite. Rampage. This is a really stacked Rampage. I'm really shocked because, but I'm shocked about this because Rampage is supposed to be going up against Supercard of Honor. So I was not expecting much from Rampage, but it's pretty packed. First up, we have the Young Bucks versus Top Flight. That's going to be a fun little match with the Young Bucks and Top Flight. That's going to be actually, I don't know why I said a little fun. That's going to be a crazy match.
Yeah, that's going to be good.
We have House of Black versus Fuego del Sol, Evil Uno, and Stu Grayson. I'm really excited for that match as well. We will hear from Scorpio Sky, Dan Lambert, and Paige Van Zant. The next up, there will be an Owen qualifier, like you said, Jamie Hayter versus Sky Blue.
There we go.
We're going to hear from Chris Statlander as well.
I don't know if I've ever heard her talk.
You've heard her talk.
Have we? Okay.
Yeah, we have. Well, at least if you watch like BT and like stuff like that, you've definitely heard her talk. No,
okay, yeah. I just mean like I don't think I've ever seen her do like a promo in the ring with,
Maybe not in the ring, but she's definitely done backstage segments.
Okay.
So we've heard promos from her before. It's not really anything too new. And then the main event, we have Powerhouse Hobbs versus Keith Lee.
Oof. Big meaty men really slapping meat on that one.
We have a really stacked Rampage here. This is going to be a crazy Friday night's going to be a really great night of wrestling. We got the Supercard of Honor, and then we have Rampage. So that's. Yeah. I don't even know if I'm going to even bother taking notes for a News Weekly roundup this week, because we're going to have plenty to talk about probably on Friday.
Yeah, for sure. Real quick, Jordan said Spears push for the Owen Cup. I would love for Shawn Spears to get his push in the Owen Cup. That would be perfect choice for me.
Now that you mention it, I do recall, and I didn't write this down, but MJF did mention that Shawn Spears was taking on the Captain Shawn Dean next week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, now like him saying that made me think of that. Like MJF said it during the I think it was the first promo of the night or after the Gun Club match. He said that because he was like, "We're starting with FTR tonight, and then Shawn Spears is going to take on Shawn Dean next week."
Ooh, okay.
So I don't know. Maybe that's an Owen qualifier.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I could see that, and yeah, I would like to see Shawn Spears, kind of do well in the tournament.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so that was the preview. We're gonna have great night of wrestling tonight. Great night of wrestling coming up on Friday. Do you have any other things you want to add?
So I was gonna say on Friday for the Supercard of Honor, if that runs like late into Rampage, I'm thinking that we'll just we'll watch the Supercard, and I'm gonna DVR Rampage if that's gonna be the case. And then I'll watch that the next morning, and then maybe we do our post show for both of them on Saturday afternoon if you're up for it.
Yeah, I'll try to see what's going on. Obviously, it's birthday weekend, so don't know my plans.
If not, we can still do it Friday. No worries.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll talk about it. We'll figure it out, but we'll definitely be covering everything.
All right. Real quick, let's do a quick code watch. I guess everybody is saying that Cody should show up at WrestleMania. I am still holding on to my one little teeny tiny, like, it's like a thread that you can't even see. It's one of those like invisible threads, right. that it's going to be Shane McMahon as Seth Rollins' opponent. And Sunday night WrestleMania closes and we see a text or a tweet from Cody, you thought I was really going to show up there? But
so, I mean, for me, I think the thread of hope is Friday.
Yes, Ring of Honor.
I think Supercard of Honor right now is that for me. I've also heard the rumors about Shane, and I'm really hoping it is Shane. Again, I'm kind of reserving my thoughts because right now my thoughts differ depending on what the truth is.
Yeah.
So I don't want to kind of commit to an opinion until we have something concrete.
Yep. I
do have
to say one thing. If Cody winds up fooling the WWE into thinking he's signing until WrestleMania night or whatever, if he doesn't go there, he will be my hero forever. Like, forever.
Well, the problem is he was already my hero. And this is like, this could be the equivalent of like Anakin Skywalker turning into Darth Vader for me. This is...
dude, that's such a good comparison. Holy shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just blew my mind, bro.
Yeah. Again, like it is what it is. I'm sure the takes that I have, if he goes to WWE, then the takes that I have would probably be quite entertaining to hear from Fed fans. But fuck them,
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm kind of holding my feelings about that in until we know one way or the other. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm hoping it doesn't happen, but hoping for the best, expecting the worst at the moment.
Yeah, that's how I am too. Just, I know if when he shows up, it's the disappointment and it's gonna hurt.
See, I don't know. My feelings on it are going to be not so much one of pain, but one of disappointment.
Yeah.
So, I would say disappointment and anger are the words I would use. But no, definitely not pain. I guess it would.
We'll see.
I guess it would hurt. I don't know. Yeah, we'll unpack them when we get to it. We'll see what happens. But anything else you want to add?
No, that's it, man. That's it for me.
All right. Well, this has been episode 19 of the Broken Tables podcast. If you enjoyed, would appreciate a like and a subscription or a follow, whatever, wherever you find us. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, Anchor, Google Podcasts. We will be live, hopefully Friday night, if not Friday night, Saturday afternoon, to cover the Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor, and AEW Rampage, along with any other little wrestling news tidbits that might pop up in the meantime. But until next time, we will see you guys later.
Right on. Rome, Jordan, Tony, everybody have a good night. Peace.